Hi, I'm doing my project for Awesome this year on my favorite organization, Invisible Children. Invisible Children has been my favorite charity since I first heard about it in 2009, and ever since then I've been extremely involved. You may have heard of Invisible Children from their film, Kony 2012, which went viral this year. So you may be wondering why I'm picking Invisible Children as my cause if it already got 123 million views on YouTube. There's plenty of other causes that don't have as much awareness that I could be talking about. Well, unfortunately, even though I was thrilled that Kony 2012 got so many views, unfortunately a lot of the people who saw it responded negatively. I'm going to respond to some of the criticisms of the organization and defend why I think Invisible Children is an amazing organization. One of the main criticisms Invisible Children's Kony 2012 received was that the LRA is not even in Uganda anymore. The LRA isn't in Uganda because they have moved to Central African Republic, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, where they continue to kidnap children, to massacre villages by using them as their soldiers and sex slaves. Another criticism Invisible Children has received is that the LRA is at an all-time low in terms of numbers. Why are we even bothering pursuing a cause when it's at an all-time low compared to what it was 20 years ago? They are right, the LRA is at an all-time low, which is why now is the time we need to get involved. The LRA can still recruit people by kidnapping children and enslaving them into their army, which is why we need to stop them now when they're at an all-time low so we can capture Joseph Kony and stop the cycle from repeating. One statistic that gets thrown around a lot is that only 35% of the donations donated to Invisible Children actually go to the on-the-ground programs in Central Africa. The donations Invisible Children gets go towards 4 different things. Number 1 is recovery. This means programs on the ground like building schools, like employing former sex slaves and child soldiers from the LRA, and rehabilitating the regions of northern Uganda that have been terrorized by the LRA for over 2 decades. Secondly is protection. This goes towards building FM radios and passing out flyers throughout the Congo that help LRA child soldiers get the message that they can get home and be granted amnesty. The third thing that Invisible Children spends their donations on, that they get most criticized for, is their use of spending their donations on the media. Think about this. Those funds went towards paying for the movie Kony 2012, which got 123 million views in less than a year. This is spreading awareness on a mass scale, which allows for government action and personal involvement in the organization. The final thing Invisible Children spends their donations on is mobilization. This means things like the roadie tours that they do every year, where they send teams of 4, 3 Americans and 1 Ugandan, all over the country showing the films that Invisible Children has made and spreading awareness on a personal scale. This also enables Invisible Children to throw events like Move DC, which I recently went to, where over 10,000 people gathered in DC from around the country and around the world, and came to DC for a conference where the world's leaders who were in the best position to stop the LRA gathered to come up with a comprehensive, cohesive plan to arrest Joseph Kony and bring the child soldiers home. This was the first time where world leaders and international organizations came together to come up with a comprehensive solution together and talk about what they were doing and what others could do to help them. Not only that, but over 10,000 people came. This was a visual representation of what Invisible Children has done. They have spread mass awareness and empathy to a cause that was previously, well, invisible. Apathy is easy, but I encourage you to look more into Invisible Children and not just believe all the criticisms that you see online. Invisible Children is an amazing organization. It would be a shame for you to miss out on this movement just because of what someone said with faulty information on a blog post or a YouTube video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them.